In the 1950s and 60s, UFOs were seemingly everywhere. Unfortunately for Steveaholic, everywhere includes Canada. Was this near-fatal encounter just a drunken hoax in order to protect some valuable land? Or was it aliens? Hello everyone and welcome to Was It Aliens, where I tell the story of an alien experience as it was explained by the real world people who lived it. And my guests, a skeptic and a believer, decide, was it aliens? Hello friends.
Hello.
Are you ready for a story?
So ready.
Without further ado, let's get into the Falcon Lake Incident.
Are you saying falcon like the bird?
Falcon.
Oh, I was going to make the sound effect. Now I'm annoyed. I was ready.
Oh,
That
horrifying.
wasn't that. On May 20th, 1967, 51-year-old Polish-born mechanic Steveaholic was looking for quartz and silver as part of a geological hobby around Falcon Lake, a little over 90 miles east of Winnipeg in Manitoba.
Oh, I love Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. That's where Chris Jericho of WWE fame is from.
Chris Jericho, I'd think he'd prefer The Rock.
That's funny. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. You're welcome.
What can I say? While searching, he became alarmed by a group of honking geese and looked up to see two unidentified flying objects. According to Mahalik, the two aircraft were identical and cigar-shaped. While one aircraft continued to hover, one landed on a nearby rock, seeming to become more disc-shaped as it landed.
How small are these UFOs if they're landing on a rock?
Rocks can come in all shapes and sizes. And the most famous one is 6'5".
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
One hovercraft took off moments later, but the one on the rock stayed there, allowing Mahalik to begin sketching it.
Oh my. Well, you know what? This is definitely the traditional UFO we've come to know, I feel like. Mm-hmm. I wonder what these holes are that he has on the side of them here.
How perfect of you to take notice of that. Keep that in mind. Initially, Mahalik believed it to be a military experiment, and after sketching it, began to approach it. When he got closer to the craft, he noticed warm air and the scent of sulfur.
Sulfur, I feel like that's from one of the past stories. I want to say it was from the last one, wasn't it?
The Flatwoods Monster, yeah. The smell was accompanied by whirring and hissing sounds, which sounded like mechanical systems. According to Mahalik, the door opened, revealing bright lights inside. He heard voices, but couldn't make out what they were saying. He called out in English, but got no response. He tried Polish, followed by Russian and German, but they replied to nothing. Concerned about the bright lights, Stefan covered his eyes with welding goggles, which he carried to protect himself while digging for rocks. As he moved closer, Stefan took notice that the craft appeared to be made of a seamless steel, which burned through the tip of his gloves when he touched it. The door of the craft suddenly closed, and the craft began spinning in a counterclockwise motion. Before long, Mahalik felt a large blast on his chest, which knocked him on his back. According to Mahalik, the blast felt like air or gas, but in the process, his shirt caught on fire.
Oh,
Whoa.
wow, that's theatrical.
Nice touch.
I like that. I
Yeah,
like that.
me too.
I like that.
As Stefan tried to remove his burning clothes, the craft departed. Fighting nausea and disorientation, Stefan eventually made it back to his hotel. Stefan's son remembers his father's room smelling of sulfur, like a burning motor, which appeared to be emanating from his father's skin. Mahalik went to the hospital to treat the burns on his body, which had resulted from the blast. Peculiarly, the burns had a grid pattern that matched holes that Stefan had noticed in the panel of the aircraft.
Oh my lord.
Wow.
Wow, that is odd. That's pretty crazy.
His burns would turn into raised sores, and for weeks he was plagued with diarrhea, blackouts, headaches, and weight loss. A cause for his injuries was never found. Upon knowledge of his encounter spreading, many descended on Mahalik's home, including media as well as government agencies like the police and military. During visits to the site, several things were found, including pieces of metal that appeared to have melted and seeped into the cracks of rocks, and several pieces of Mahalik's belongings like his singed gloves. Everything retrieved from the site was discovered to be highly radioactive, including soil samples from the area.
Wow.
This is legit.
After the pandemonium that occurred around him and his story, Mihalik wished he had never mentioned the encounter. However, he came forward because he felt it was his duty to report it in order to prevent it from happening to anyone else. A year after the encounter, Mihalik still suffered from blackouts and his burns seemed to reappear. He was sent to the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota, but a cause for his condition could never be found. A psychological assessment was done and Mihalik was reported to be a fairly pragmatic person, not particularly likely to make up stories. And with many of the hallmarks of the traditional UFO encounter, in the case of the Falcon Lake Incident, was it aliens? Despite the extensive investigations by authorities, the case is considered unexplained. Skeptic Aaron Sakalich, who has studied the case extensively, believes that while Stefan might have been burned, it was likely the result of an accident that happened due to Stefan's alcohol use, and further theorizing he simply made the story up to keep people away from the area he was prospecting. However, according to the report from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, who first approached Stefan as he was walking home, the odor of alcohol was not detected, though his general appearance was not dissimilar to that of a person what overindulged.
For once, I see more of an issue with the counter theory, because like if you tell someone there's a spacecraft somewhere, people are going to go there.
And a lot of people did.
Yeah, that would attract attention to that area. That wouldn't make any sense.
While several people believe the unexplained nature of the encounter was otherworldly, many do not. One of which is Stefan Mihalik himself, who up until his death maintained he did not believe he encountered aliens, but instead a government experimental aircraft.
Ooh, I like that. I like that more.
Though no official government explanation has ever been given, the Falcon Lake Incident was burned in the Canadian folklore, with the Royal Canadian Mint issuing a $20 coin commemorating the incident in 2018.
Ooh, they have a $20 coin?
While Stefan died in 1999, his son and family still search for answers to this day. So was the Falcon Lake Incident just a boozed-up hoax from a geode-loving industrial worker? Or was it aliens?
I'm on the edge with this one.
I'm also, I was so sold on it. I'm going to lean on the side of skepticism. I'm going to say it wasn't aliens. I don't think it was in the end.
First, I didn't believe him. Then I really believed him. Now I don't believe him. So I agree. There's a lot to this story.
Technically, you do believe him.
I think it could be the government, okay?
Sure.
I think it could be the government.
It's really fascinating because you have the most evidence to suggest that it might have been aliens. And yet he goes, I don't think so.
If it wasn't aliens, something did happen there. Something weird happened there, and something government related is fully plausible.
Thank you, Merle and Aria, for joining me again.
Thank you for having us once again.
And thank you as well. And just remember, if you see the goose a honkin', don't go a nonkin'. I hated it.